Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina, and if you are new here on my channel, I do bookish related things and I also do beauty. So if that sounds like something you'd like to be a part of, I ask that you please subscribe here to my YouTube channel. And if you do like this video, by the end of it, I ask that you please give this video a thumbs up. So today I decided to sit down and play with some makeup and test out a new eyeshadow palette that I recently picked up. It's literally been like calling for me to play with it, so I'm glad I finally decided to sit down and create a look for you guys. And the palette that I am talking about is the Profusion palette. This is the electric blue palette. I've recently picked this up and I hauled it in a video. I will leave that in the cards for you, so you guys should definitely go check out that video if you haven't already. So I'm really excited to show you guys what colors I used to create this look. Along with using this palette, I decided to go ahead and throw in the Profusion green, neon green liquid liner to add another pop of color. So yeah, I'm really excited to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions. That is it for this intro. If you are excited to see how I created this look, then I suggest you please keep on watching. Alright, so like always, I do my brows off camera and I also put some NYX white eyeshadow base on my lids. This is what the NYX eyeshadow base looks like. This is my all-time favorite eyeshadow base to use whenever I want to use like bold and bright colors. I love using a white eyeshadow base just to make the colors pop a little bit more. If you don't have it, you definitely don't need it. You can always use your concealer, like a lighter color or whatever you have on hand. But me personally, I love using a white eyeshadow base whenever I want to do like bold and pops. Like I want my colors to really pop and stand out. So we're going to be playing with the electric blue Profusion palette. I recently picked this up and I've been dying to play with it. I love that it comes with a little cassette tape cover to protect like the shades. It's literally like so retro and is definitely up my alley. But yeah, I'm so excited to jump into this palette because it's an all blues palette. This is something that I have not yet seen. I know ColourPop has like a monochromatic one, but it just wasn't exciting enough for me to pick up. So when I seen this one in stores, I knew I had to get it because not only is it all blues, I love that the color story makes sense. It doesn't have like some random brown in there. The one like personal opinion I have is I wish it had like a more paler white fluorescent type of blue shade for like an inner corner or like all over the lid. But nonetheless, like these colors are really gorgeous. They make sense, like I said. And overall, I'm really excited I picked this palette up. I've never used a Profusion palette. At least I don't remember ever owning one or using one. So I'm really excited. A lot of people say that this brand is actually really good. So I'm really excited to see how it performs. So I don't know exactly what I want to do. I do know that I want to either do a half cut crease or a full on like full cut crease, but I guess we'll see. We're just gonna roll with it and see. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first shade, and I'm gonna use the shade Bermuda, which is gonna be like this pale baby blue shade right here. And I'm just gonna place this all in the crease area, just messingly. It doesn't have to be perfect, just want to get it all in the crease area. And I'm gonna be using a Morphe M518 brush to do the blending. I'm gonna go in with this BH brush in the number 4. It's just the number 4 brush by BH Cosmetics. This was part of one of their collections and it's a clean brush, and I'm just gonna go over top just to make sure everything is nice and blended. Alright, going into the next shade, we're gonna be using the shade Frisky, and it's going to be this blue shade right here, just to kind of start to deepen things up. I will say the first shadow that was laid down, I'm really impressed with the pigmentation. It was easy to blend, so far so good. I'm really loving the shadows. So I'm gonna hope that this next color we use is going to be equally as good. Another like personal opinion is I wish it had a mirror, but it doesn't, so it's fine. I still so far am enjoying the palette. With that next shade, Frisky, we're gonna just place this also in the crease area, but we're gonna try and keep it closest to the lid and not drag it up any further than the first transition shade. And for this, I'm going to be using a Morphe M441. With that blending brush that we used for the first transition shade to blend everything out. There's nothing on the product. I'm just going to use the same brush to blend out that shade as well. Just make sure everything is nice and blended. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I think I'm just gonna do a half cut crease. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease and I will be right back. Alright, now that we got our half cut crease cut, I'm gonna jump into the shade Idol, which is going to be this shimmery shade right here. And we're gonna place this all over the area where we have that concealer laid down. And I'm just using a flat brush to press that all over the lid, or where the concealer is at. Now that we have that laid down, I'm really loving that shimmer. It's really pretty. I bet that if we wet the brush a little bit more, we could foil it out a little bit more, but I'm gonna leave as is. I'm actually really impressed with how this shimmer shade laid down. So yeah, we're gonna go and move on to the next shade. I think to further deepen things up, I'm gonna try and dip into the shade and see how dark it'll show up on my lid. If not, I will probably try this shade right here. But what I'm going to try first is the shade Waves, and I'm just going to place this really on the outer V area and slowly drag it to the front of the lid. But really I want to focus this mostly on the outer V area, just to deepen up the corners a little bit and just further make sure everything is nice and blended and looks cohesive. So yeah, and I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetic brush in number 10. This was also part of a brush collection. I believe it was the brunch collection. And I love this brush. Alright, so now that we got that shade laid down, we're going to go back in with that same blending brush that we've used for the other colors to buff and blend out everything. And we're going to do the same with this. We're just going to go over top and then just make sure everything is nice and blended, going back and forth like in windshield wiper motions and also in circular motions, but very light-handed. So we're going to put the palette down for a little bit and we're going to work on the liner. And I am going to be testing out the Profusion eyeliner in it's an electric bold liner, and it's in like this neon green. Hence, that's why I got a green scrunchie in my hair. So yeah, I am a little nervous about this one. I'm hoping it's pigmented and it does not ruin this look, but I felt like the pops of green and blue would definitely go together because the border in this palette definitely is the same neon green. So I loved the way they looked in combination with one another, so I got the inspired look. So we're gonna go ahead and create a winged liner with this. So we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that everything goes smoothly. So nobody breathe, and let's do this. Alright, this is what it's looking like with one eye done. It does take a while to build up, at least whenever I dragged it out. When I did my first layer on the lid, it was pretty pigmented, like the first line across. But as I like did a bigger space, it was a little bit more sheer, so more building up I had to do. I'm a little bit nervous that once it dries down that it's gonna crack because of how many layers I had to put on. But other than that, like, that is a really pretty neon green, and yeah, I don't have anything like this in my collection, so I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping that it does not crack when it dries down. I'm gonna be really sad if it does, but we're gonna go ahead and do the other eye, and I will be right back. All right, now that we got the eyes almost done, I'm just gonna leave it alone for right now while that liner is drying down. I will say, like, it doesn't feel heavy on my eyes at all. Like, you know, sometimes when you put so many layers of liner, liquid liner, it kind of gives like a heavy feeling. It doesn't feel like that at all, so it's still very comfortable in my personal opinion. But I do notice it's kind of streaky. Like I said, whenever you use more product, it's a little streaky. But as far as like on the actual lid, on my card, I don't know how to explain that part, but right here, it's not too bad. Just only whenever I accentuated my eyeliner further out and needed a lot more product is whenever I noticed that it was more sheer and it started to look streaky. So hopefully with those added layers, it'll dry good. And if I have to like put another layer on, I hope that it doesn't, like I said, crack or anything, just look horrible. So far everything is looking good. I'm really digging this look. So moving on to the face, we're going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, and I got the shade Caramel, and then I also got the shade Amber Beige. So now I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is also like the hydrating concealer. I can't think of what I'm trying to say today. I don't know what's going on. Because I've already mentioned this a lot, I do have dry under eyes. So I don't like to enhance the dryness. So if I can find something that's full coverage and also hydrating, then, you know, I'll get it. So I'm just going to place this where I always place it, underneath my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, and on my chin. Alright, concealer is on and blended. So I'm going to go in with my Fit Me Maybelline loose powder. This is in the shade Fair Light. I got this one specifically for my under eyes. I feel like it has like some yellowish peachy tones, and I felt like it would be perfect for like underneath my eyes. And then I picked up light medium 20 for like all over the face. So yeah, we're gonna hope that it matches me. Alright, going in with my Hoola bronzer, and we're gonna start bronzing up, contouring the face. Alright, so I'm gonna go into my Bellini palette by BH Cosmetics. This is a blush palette, and I'm gonna dip into this shade right here, or probably mix these two right here, just to make sure we're not going too heavy, but also like we have a wash of color on our face. I'm just gonna place this on the apples of my cheeks and then drag it back towards my hairline. I guess what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna work on the lower lash line before we add our highlight and a lippy and finishing off the look. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys back in so we can finish off the lower lash line and we can kill the rest of this look. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with this color and then also this color. I'm going to place this on the lower lash line closest to the water lash line. I'm gonna place this on the lower lash line closest to the waterline, and I'm gonna start off with the shade Frisky first, and then I will buff and blow it out with waves just to make it a little bit more smoky-ish at the bottom. I'm gonna go in with this green liner by LA Girls. LA Girls. This is like a neon green liner. It's called Gotcha. That is the name of it. So yeah, I'm gonna place this on the waterline, on the lower waterline, just to give it an added pop. I'm actually going to add this silver pigment by LA Colors, and this is what I'm going to use to add that pop of highlight in the inner corner and also in under the brow bone. I might also use this as like the highlight for my face. I feel like this will complement the blues a lot better. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and finish off with this, and then I'm going to pop on some falsies and finish off the rest of this video. So I'll see you guys here in a minute. Alright, so I am back. I went ahead and popped on some falsies. I popped on a lip, and this is the completed look. I'm about to zoom you guys in to give you guys a makeup montage. So that is it for today's video, you guys. I created a look using the Electric Blue palette. So my thoughts on the palette is I really like it. I thought the colors were really good. They blended out really nicely. The pigmentation was awesome. I had no trouble blending them or building them up. I feel like it was just the perfect amount of building and just blending. Overall, I am so glad I picked up this palette, and I'm gonna go and pick up the orange one because this one was really good, so I'm pretty sure the orange one will be good, fingers crossed. But I'm so obsessed with this palette. I'm so glad I picked it up. If you guys want to pick up like a very blue palette, definitely pick this up. I believe this was like $6, so it's fairly inexpensive to me personally. I feel like, you know, you can buy like a ColourPop palette, the monochrome palettes with 9 shades, and this is 8 shades, and the one from ColourPop is like 12 bucks, and I think this is like, I think it's like 12 or 14, I can't remember. I have quite a few, but normally I buy those when they're on sale. But anyways, this itself was like $6. So I am really happy about purchasing this palette. Alright, so jumping into the green neon liner. So I do have some misses with this. I feel like as soon as I accentuated my wing liner to create a wing liner, the corner area required a lot more product, so the product became very streaky. However, looking at it with it dried down really nice, but I do feel like if I added more layers, then it would definitely crack on me. It feels very lightweight. I actually don't feel like it's not on my eye at all. It doesn't feel like anything on my eye. So yeah, that's my only downfall with it, is that it becomes really streaky the more product you have to use. But overall, it dried down really nice. It's somewhat matte, it has a little sheen to it, but that doesn't really bother me, especially when it comes to colorful liners like this. Now, however, if it was like a black liner, I definitely would want it to dry down matte. I'm not mad at this. If you want to pick it up, definitely pick it up. I think it's just something nice to have in your collection, but be very mindful that it is very streaky whenever you put it on a more larger surface or when you're trying to use more of the product. But overall, I feel like if I had to rate this from 1 out of 10, I would give it like maybe a 4. I know that sounds really bad, but I definitely will go pick up the other colors just to have in my collection and just to use. I know that there's probably better liquid liners out there. I know that they have like water activated liners that I want to try that I hear are really good. So yeah, overall I feel like this is a very cheaper alternative, a more affordable alternative. I believe that this was like $3, $3.98, so almost $4. Usually these will probably run about like $20 or more, or like $8 and up when it comes to other brands. But overall, like I said, if you want to try it out but don't want to splurge on something expensive, go for it. I feel like it's definitely worth just having in your collection on hand. And I will be picking up the other shades, so that should tell you something. So yeah, that is it for today's video with trying these Profusion and creating a look with the Profusion palette, the Electric Blue palette, and using the neon green liner. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know if you'd like to see any other looks created with this palette, or if you'd like to see any other looks in general for the springtime. I definitely would love creating looks for you guys. So yeah, that is it. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.